Good morning, Dr. Gary Spainhauer back again. I want to share with you some things that I share with my patients. Today we're going to talk about stress. Besides dietary changes we talked about earlier, stress is probably the single additional thing that is a destroyer of our health. And stress is a successful person's word for fear. Basically, stress is a fear-based emotion. Whatever we're stressed about stimulates activity in the primitive brain to actually give you the fight or flight response. The norepinephrine level goes up, the adrenaline goes up. That's necessary in primitive life if you're being chased by a tiger or whatever. You need to run or you need to fight. And that happens rarely, but when it does, you're going to have the most power and the most bang for your buck to get away from the person or the animal that's attacking you, or to fight like a maniac. And in our culture, though, that happens very little. There's very few times we've got to go lift the car off of our, kid or something. And it does happen, and it's necessary. But we have these little smoldering things, events in our lives on a daily basis that raise those stress hormones. And they actually decrease the serotonin levels in our brain, the happy hormone, the one that makes us happy with what's going on around us, the happy brain transmitter. So there's several things about stress. We're going to briefly talk about a couple of them. Number one is, what is your self-talk? So if you have a deadline, or you're using words like, oh my God, I'll never get it done, that to the brain says we have a fight or flight situation, a fear-based process going on. It's going to stimulate more of that. So learning how to change the words about things coming up. Like, I got this, I can get it done, I'll do my best, I'll leave the rest. Comfortably looking at what's in front of you and not running those words to the subconscious mind that amp up fight or flight response. So that's a whole study in itself we may get into later. What your self-talk is, what you're affirming, what you're talking about, what you're focused on, all make a difference in that, either being happy and relaxed and productive, or being stressed out. A lot of us think that stress makes us achieve more. All the studies show it does not, but we think it does. So how many times, midterms, finals, the quarter end report, the list of things on our desk, we come at it from a stressed place. That's important to understand. You can reframe that, you can change it, and part of it starts with how you represent it, what meaning you put to it, and then what you affirm. I can't get it done, no way, I'm going to die if I don't get it done, or my boss is going to hate me, whatever it is, to I got this, I'm going to do my best, I'm going to leave the rest, I see myself doing it, and applying those principles and resetting. When you go over here with a fight or flight response type communication, plug in a new type of communication. So that's one thing we can spend a lot of time on. That's all I'm going to do today. The second thing is breathing, meditation. We've known for a long time how important meditation is. I've known about it for many, many years. Didn't really apply it to my life. I thought, well, that's good, but I'm just not a meditator. And then I went to a class about how to reduce stress for your patients. And they went through the science behind it, and very simply put, with meditation, stress hormone goes down in the body. The fight or flight responses go down, and the serotonin levels go up. So that complacent, good feeling, happiness occurs with that happening. Very simple to do. It's just breathing. And the basic meditation I like to share is what's called mindful meditation. So if you'll make a commitment to do 5, 6, 7 minutes, make it a chunk that you'll do every day. All you're going to do with mindful meditation is breathe in through your nose, out through your mouth, hear your breath. You're going to be sitting or lying, depending on what you'll do, but sitting is what I tend to do. All you're doing during that 5, 6, 7 minutes is observing. Breathing in, out twice as long, hear your breath. Then all you're doing with mindful meditation is observing what's going on around you. You're not thinking, you're just listening. What do I hear? Don't think about what you hear, just I hear this. What do you see? If your eyes are closed, which I recommend, the back of your eyes will have some lights or whites or oranges or reds. Just observe. I see that color, I see that figure. I feel myself sitting. I feel my buttocks on the chair. a good thing to do is I feel my hands relaxing as you're breathing. You just let them relax. You feel that happening. So again, your brain will wander. That's what the brain does. You just bring it back gently to observing. So at first it's a little harder. You're thinking about something that comes up. Just don't be tough on yourself. Just say, okay, I'm going to come back to observing my buttocks on the chair, my hands, my arms relaxing. What I hear, sometimes if you're out, you might smell whatever you smell, but again, you're only observing. Take a few minutes. I like to say, tell your smartphone, I'll do my meditation 7 o'clock in the morning or whatever. Now, as you do that, the brain loves this. It actually learns this new place of relaxation. And then throughout the day, you find yourself with a deadline. You find yourself, somebody cuts you off, or you snap at your kids, or whatever it is that you find is not a good response. Breathe. Just a few breaths after you've done this for a while, the brain will go into that state. So why is it important? Stress is a killer. When we're in a stressed place, our EEG, the brain electrical activity, is just this random craziness. The heart does a very similar thing, and they are not synchronized. So a lot of people believe that contributes to, over time, that stress on the heart, to heart disease. After meditation, the EEG, the brain electrical activity, and the EKG, the heart electrical activity, actually lines up nicely. And that's in a very emotionally healthy state. So good for your heart, good for your mind, good for you, and believe it or not, productivity will go up. So make a commitment, 5-6 minutes a day. Tell your smartphone to do it, just like you brush your teeth every day. Make that a part of you. Minimal investment, great payoff. Thanks for your time.